Welcome. Welcome, nice to have you with us. I'm Jim Horn, the school principal. You know, this event has been kind of weird for us because usually we just gather everybody in at once, and we've had to split the class in two tonight. So it seems a little different for us as we're presenting. I'm sure it seems a little different for you as you sit here, but we welcome you. This is the first time we've had an opportunity to gather parents in our school community for the last year. The boys who are currently freshmen, we've still not had a gathering for their parents because this event last year was all virtual. And it's just now things are starting to loosen up and restrictions are changing. So we welcome you. We're thrilled that you're here. There's a lot of great information to present tonight, but we're going to begin by offering up a little prayer. And so I call forward our chaplain, Father Max Villeneuve.
Thank you, Mr. Horn. My name is Father Max. As he said, I'm the chaplain of the school. You might be thinking, what is a chaplain exactly? If you go to your local parish and you have a pastor there, I'm kind of like the pastor of St. Augustine High School. I'm responsible for the sacramental needs, not just of the students, but of the faculty, of the administration, of you, the parents, of alumni. I get phone calls for saintsmen looking to do weddings in the chapel and even funerals even. That's how much the saints experience creates lifelong saintsmen as you're entering into a family here at Saints. We, the Augustinians, we view ourselves as being community builders. We love community and we love the brotherhood, and that comes from our charism of wanting to promote unity and brotherhood in our saintsmen. And so we'll begin as we do all things. Actually, this morning, the juniors and seniors were here in the gym. We were celebrating the weekly school mass with them. And just yesterday, the freshmen and sophomores were here in the gym, and we were celebrating the school mass with them too. The weekly school mass is the oldest Saints tradition. It's something that I have the honor of celebrating with saintsmen each week. And so as we prepare for this wonderful evening, getting to get to learn more about perhaps the new community for you, let us begin, as we do all things at Saints, with prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord God, we ask for your blessing upon this evening and upon the information that we are going to hear, that it might allow the families that have joined us this evening to get the best experience for their sons here, and that their sons might be able to live out all their hopes, dreams, and endeavors. And we ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. St. Augustine, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. I'd now like to call forward Mr. Ed Hearn, our school president.
Good evening, everyone. You know, I know you might not be, well, you're excited, I know that. But we are really excited to have you here. Even though you're in masks, it is just so cool. We just did this for another group of freshman parents, and what a great positive experience for me so far. So thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of this journey that we're going to take for the next 4 years. Just a little about me. This is my 15th year as president of the school and my 50th year as a Catholic educator. And I've served the Catholic Church in 5 different schools. So I guess you could say I've seen pretty much anything that you could see in a Catholic school except totally caught off guard with COVID-19. That is takes the cake. 50 years takes the cake. So thank you for making Saints your new home. We're thrilled that you have decided to become saintsmen. It is a decision that will change your life and point you towards success in all of your endeavors, far beyond college. We're an excellent school. We have state-of-the-art programs, but we're a school that is about the heart, education of the heart, as much as the education of our mental acuities. I'd like to just take you and trace just real briefly how the school is here and why we're here tonight. This journey started in the 5th century with St. Augustine, the Bishop of Hippo. And it didn't start out like you would think it would start out, because he was rebellious. He did not want to be a Christian. He tried a million different things before he finally decided on the Christian faith. His mother was a Christian, father not a Christian. Mother's name was Monica. We know her today as Saint Monica. And she prayed and prayed and prayed for her son to become a Christian, which he did in his early 30s. And as we know, Augustine became one of the great thinkers since St. Paul in the church. And this is all back in the 5th century. So from there, obviously I'm going to skip a lot of history here, but the first Augustinian friars came to Philadelphia in 1796. In which case they first made a church, and now we know that a great university, Villanova University, is Augustinian as well. And another great school in the Massachusetts area, Merrimack College, also Augustinian. There are 10 secondary schools, high schools in North America, one of those in Canada. So we're affiliated, and we get together and we share information, and it makes our schools, I think, really strong. What's really great about our school is we have direct linkage to the university, or Villanova University, because Father Alphonse Martel, a chemist at the university, was our first principal, and he was the first one to say yes to St. Augustine High School, as it became known. So he gets on a train, comes west, gets off at Santa Fe Station, September 2nd, 1922. 16 days later, if you could imagine, he begins a school. 19 boys show up at St. Vincent de Paul Church, parish church, over in the Mission Hills area for the first year. Then after that, here. So we go right back to Villanova University. I believe they're still alive in the NC2A tournament too, so we're also keeping a good eye on them regarding that. So what makes a great school? Well, it's a school that is very focused on its core values: community, truth, and love. Unchanging. Goes all the way back to the 13th century. Coat of arms, Augustinians. Unity, truth, and love. They're all over this campus. You can ask any student here, they will tell you what they are, and they'll even tell you what they mean. So then we have all these programs. We have an academic program, we have a campus ministry program, we have an athletic program. Those are all up for change. And we evaluate and change programs to fit the times as we go forward. During this COVID time, virtually everything in this school has been recreated. Jim Horn, our principal, and his administration have been phenomenal at addressing these kinds of issues. So we have a Kairos retreat program. We've run it the same way forever. Now we have to run it a completely different way because of the CDC rules. We get through the very first time, and all I'm hearing is raves about what a great retreat it was, even though we didn't go to Palomar Mountain or do one of these great trips where the kids get to stay for 4 days 4 days and 3 nights. They did it right here on campus, yet it was outstanding. Or our Frosh retreat, which all these boys in this room will go on. Had to be completely changed, but it worked because our campus ministry team is dynamic, as well as our teaching staff, our coaching staff. It's really phenomenal when you see people that are interested in teaching, students, athletes, whatever it is that we're doing, that they become the primary focus of our endeavor. And that's what it is at this school. Our students come first. everything. This boys' school was built for boys. We belong to the International Boys School Coalition. They are a primary research organization, and we use their research about how boys learn best at this school. And we've been part of that organization for well over a decade. My advice to the young men here, class of 2025, seems amazing to me. This is what I would like you to consider. This is not a time for you to be passive. This is a time to jump in 100%. Be a great student. Find a club to join. Try out a sport. Audition for a part in the play. Pick up an instrument, learn how to play it. Happens all the time here. Learn how to throw a pot. Learn how to draw. Maybe it's student government. Jump in and lead. Might be campus ministry. There's a place for every one of you, and this is a place to find what you're passionate about, what you dream about. That's this time. It starts right now, okay? This is what we call the Saints Experience, and you're going to hear this term a ton over the next 4 years. Every Saints Experience is a little different. It depends on what you do and what you don't do. So the more vibrant, excited the experience is, probably is very dependent on how much you decide to become part of it. Now, parents. Some parents have told me after the first month that they didn't know if their son had enrolled in school or they had enrolled in school, because that's how busy we would like you to be here on our campus. You are the primary educators. We love having you on our campus. So, moms, I just mentioned St. Monica, prayed for her son. You have sons. You can be just like St. Monica was in the 5th century. On Thursday morning, 7:45, when you drop off your son, park your car, go to our chapel, and join the St. Monica's prayer group. You'll meet a lot of like-minded people, and you'll, I think, really help your family with the prayer that will take place in the chapel on those Thursday mornings. Early on in September, just right after the beginning of the school year, we'll have freshman get acquainted parties. They're for parents. And I would hope they're on the weekend, like 3 to 5 on the Saturday, 4 to 6 on the Sunday. Choose one. Please come. You're going to get a lot of good information about how to really get involved in our school. Taste of Saints is our big auction. And we're not having it this year, and we're not doing a Zoom online auction. I just thought that was really silly. So we're going to bypass this May, but next May we will have Taste of Saints right up on the top of this building. The last time I think we had it, it was about 500 people, all Saintsmen, or Saints parents and alums. It was a great party. You'll have a lot of fun. So, just to reiterate, we're so excited that you're interested in what we have to offer, and we think we have a lot to offer. So let's just take a look at community, truth, and love just for a second. Here we are in community, and we learn from each other about our faith in community. It's one of the strongest ways we learn about our faith. We know the truth is Jesus Christ, and we can follow the love of his ministry by loving each other, which is a pathway to loving God. So welcome to this very small school that makes a huge difference in boys' lives. We're so happy you're with us, and the only thing I would say to all of you is dream big dreams, and they will come to fruition. Thanks for being here tonight. Welcome. Now I'd like to introduce our Assistant Principal for Academic Affairs, Mr. Greg Heck.
All right. Thank you, President Hearn. Welcome, everybody. It is a great day, great night to be a Saintsman. Congratulations. We have slayed the dragon. You've made it. You're here. It's okay to smile. Congratulations. Woo! All right. Yes, you should celebrate. It's an evening to celebrate. I'm going to walk you through your curriculum guide and the course request form, so hopefully you have that at the ready. You all received information from Mr. Sipper, but given the year that we've all endured to be here, I'm as excited as you guys are. I feel like this is a rebirth for all of us. I am so glad to be back doing what we do best, which is that face-to-face communication. It thrills me no end to be here talking to you. So really, congratulations. This is a real joy for all of us tonight. Don't be afraid to smile and laugh. It's okay. Learning should be fun. I don't know when the last time someone ever said that, but learning should be fun. You should learn every day. There's something to learn every single day. I learned early on not to put me anywhere near electrical or plumbing, so I learned, right? We can't be perfect at everything, and we'll talk about that in just a second, but it's a great day, great night to be a Saintsman. So welcome to campus. Congratulations. Just want to start as we talk about the curriculum in general, 3 words, and I'm going to say them over and over the course of the next 4 years, and that is we want to get it right. We want to do what's best for your son, not for your son's friends or his friends. Well, that's important, and I know it's hard because many of you coming from smaller school situations, it's always, well, so-and-so is in this and he's in that, and is he going to be left behind? Let me reassure you that this is college entrance season here at Saints, and people are still going to college, getting into colleges. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. If you have that faith, it'll happen. But it's really important that we do what's best for your son, wherever he is on his academic journey. That's really, really important. Whether it's encouraging him to move along or slowing things down. That's really important. Many ways up Mount Everest, many ways to achieve those dreams that President Hearn talked about. But we don't want people crying at the dinner table if we can avoid it. We don't want meltdowns. There is so much anxiety. There is so much angst and concern about the future, and maybe rightly so. But as a parent myself who's raised 2 children who have now left the nest, they're graduated and gone, and many of you might be in the same situation, I can tell you that there is nothing more precious than the joy and happiness and well-being of your child. Really? How many curveballs have we all endured over the last year? How many more curveballs will there be to come? Tons. So I want everyone to take a deep breath. I want to lower the anxiety temperature and know it's going to be okay. The best indicator of success long term, and many of you know this, is perseverance. Life is going to smack you down over and over, and you're not going to see it coming sometimes. How do you get up and keep grinding? How do you get up and keep going? How do you get up and keep moving forward? That is the key. And the same is true in academics. Nobody expects you to be perfect, gentlemen. Please take that off the plate. We expect you to put forth maximum effort, but nobody expects perfection. Take a deep breath. It's okay to not know. That's why you're here to learn, okay? To learn. This is the environment in which you can do that. It's okay. Don't be afraid to fail. I tell my volleyball team, my players all the time, you'll never know greatness until you're not afraid to fail. Failure, first attempt in learning. That's what FAIL stands for. First attempt in learning. You can skin your knees here. We want you to skin your knees here. So you're ready for the big bad world when you get out there to say, oh, really? I didn't get that job? Oh, really? This didn't go the way I wanted to? That's okay because I have the fortitude and wherewithal to keep going because I know and believe in myself and my abilities. That is the key. Okay? So you're going to hear that over and over and over again. Don't be afraid to fail. Nothing great ever happened in the history of humankind without people risking that. Ever. Ever. Self-care is important, especially in this day and age, right? I wish I had discovered massage therapy 30 years ago. It's fantastic. It's great. But for you gentlemen, nutrition, hydration, sleep is a precious commodity. Put the phones away. Go to bed. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But that's a key. It'll still be there in the morning. Don't worry, that score will still be there. Whatever got posted on Instagram will still be there. Trust me, it's all right. Put the phone away, go to bed. To assure the parents, as I said, over 4,000 four-year colleges and universities in this country. And after COVID, many of them are quite hungry for students. Trust me. You're in a good situation, gentlemen, as long as you put forth that effort. We spend a lot of time, President Hearn talked about it, we spend a lot of time articulating with colleges and universities via our counseling department, myself, the other members of the administration, and talking about what is going on at that level. Because everyone's excited about the front end, but I want to reverse engineer this. I want to assure you, A, there's a college for everybody. Okay? So let's take that off the plate. If you put forth the effort, you can go to college. 2, okay, that as you journey on that path, you're going to find many, many different things that you like. Don't be afraid to explore different things in areas that you've never explored before. That's going to be important. But our college graduates, we're getting ready to graduate here. There are 40 school days left. Yep, that's it, before graduation here at St. Augustine High School. And they'll be okay, they'll make it. They're going to go off to college and they're going to be successful. We know that, okay? But since we started talking about success and happiness, let's talk about post-grad. Because you never hear, or very rarely do you hear about everybody getting in. Oh, I got in, and we post all these things. I got in, everyone's applying to 50 colleges. You can only go to one, okay? And that's okay. We want you to feel successful. We want you to get into your dreams. We want that to happen for you. But let's talk about what happens when you get there. So we started tracking several years ago our graduates. So in this most recent 4-year window, 83% of those that graduated from Saints that went on to college, 83% of that group has already completed their 4-year degree. So we know that when we're talking about getting it right, it's not just here. It's for your future. Where do you fit? Where can you be successful? What is best for you and your talents? And we'll talk about that over this 4-year journey. A couple of folks that are outside, Mr. Bronson right here. Mr. Bronson, will you please stand up my left to your right? Mr. Bronson's a freshman counselor. So as we go through the evening, beyond this evening, as you transition to Saints, he is going to be your point of contact for all things in terms of class placement, curriculum. He will be meeting with your son twice a semester, or twice a year, at least twice a year, okay, to develop that 4-year plan, talk about how things are going. If you have issues or concerns, that's your man right there. And you can talk to him after as well. They'll be upstairs. Upstairs above us, you'll have the department chairs to talk about specific classes, perhaps, or the course sequencing in a department. So where do things go? I can assure you, and we'll talk about math in just a second, of our top 20 graduating seniors in terms of GPA, 14 of them started in pre-algebra or algebra 1, and now are in calculus A, B, or BC. It can happen, it's okay. Why? Because they listened, and they focused on getting it right by their son, and we're happy about that. So with all of that in mind, as a backdrop, if you all wouldn't mind taking out your curriculum guide, so if there are any questions we can find in here, hopefully you got. If you don't have it with you, it's okay. You can access our website by looking on your network, looking in your cell phone or your smart tablet or whatever you have with you, and choosing the network that says Family Night, or Saints Family, I think. It's the open part of our network. You can log on to our website, shs.org, and you can access the curriculum guide there under academics. If there are any questions we go through for the rest of the evening or the balance of my presentation tonight. Hopefully all of you also have with you your course request form, and we'll start going through that as well, okay? That should have been probably mailed to you, I'm assuming, in your packet. Okay. So first, we'll talk about our religion program. There are 6 classes here at St. Augustine High School, 6 blocks, if you will. During the school day, everyone must be in 6 blocks. So we don't have any free blocks or floating around or study periods. Everyone's going to take the same freshman. Everyone's going to take the same religion. So all of that should be established. It's already written on your form there. You'll see that there. That's already written in for you. So you don't need to worry about that one. There's one down. So you're all set there. As we get into English, along with math, myself, Mr. Sipper, the counseling staff, other administrators spent quite a lot of time taking a look at the cumulative recommendations, which is very difficult because of COVID, taking a look at test scores and the criteria. If you look in your curriculum guide in the English department, you will see the criteria for selection for honors English in particular. I know that's of interest for a lot of folks. That should have been pre-designated for you on your form when you received it, your placement in English, based on scores in particular segments of the HSPT, along with recommendations and 7th and 8th grade grades. Okay? Let me say this about advancement. If you desire to be in an honors level class in English, but you're in English 1A this year, if you perform well enough in those classes, receive the A's, you can move into honors English 2 sophomore year. So that is perfectly in line with our philosophy, which is if you perform, move up. If not, slow down. Okay? So that is how we are handling English. That should be filled in for you. Mathematics. This is probably going to be the most time consuming. Obviously with COVID, and you'll hear Mr. O'Byrne talk about it a little bit with summer school, it was very evident early on that there are a number of gaps in terms of mathematics and performance, in terms of what we see year over year, this year in particular, with the online learning. As we get kids, as you can appreciate, from all over San Diego County, and we might have 40 different schools, and everyone takes Algebra 1. Well, we all know it's different from school to school. That being the case, the mathematics addendum, and all of you should have received an email from Mr. Sipper indicating your math supplement score and making a recommendation to you. That mathematics supplement is our pre-algebra final. Okay? So that lets us know whether or not that's our best gauge. That in concert with your grades and your performance on the HSPT, let us know what recommendation to make to you. If you're in that 7 to 14 range with your math addendum, and all of you, like I said, that email from Mr. Sipper, hopefully you've all received that, made a recommendation in that 7 to 14 range that perhaps the summer bridge program, we're offering a summer bridge program, Mr. O'Byrne will spend a little more time with that you recommended that you take that to shore up your Algebra 1 skills. Algebra 1, for you math friends out there, so vital, so critical to your success in Algebra 2 Trig, pre-calculus, and calculus, the AB, BC series. Okay? So it's not required for you to take it, not mandated, but strongly recommended. And that'll be done through the summer program. So we strongly consider, if you're in that range, that you strongly consider taking that. Those of you in that 15 to 25 range, you also receive an email from Mr. Sipper indicating that you might be eligible to sit for the APE, which is the Algebra Proficiency Exam, to test right into geometry. And let me say again, the algebra and geometry we're doing here is collegiate, right? The idea is to get you ready for that level, okay? So it's not, I'm not casting aspersions on your previous experience, but that's what we're doing here, okay? So if you receive that email, that invitation, there'll be a subsequent email coming to you then, if you're in that score range, to allow you to sign up for the APE, which is Saturday, May 1st at 8 a.m. here at St. Augustine High School. That should be coming out on the 31st. Look to your email from Mr. Sipper there. So essentially on your form, everybody has pre-algebra or Algebra 1 already designated. Subsequent to those examinations and those testings, okay, and the summer school placement, we will then make those adjustments down the road before school starts, okay, and before you order your textbooks. All right, so that will be that. Again, the APE will be coming out May 31st if you're invited to sit for that, and then we can make adjustments based on that. But again, with math, it's something that we can't miss, because if we miss it, there's no backing out once we get to 2 Trig and Honors Pre-Calc. You can't back out of it. And so we don't want the C's and D's and realize that we're there. Okay, we want to make sure that you can be successful. Fantastic. PE, physical education. Everybody's required to take 2 years. You don't have to make the definitive choice right now, but you should all be selecting either PE or PE football. If you're thinking about playing freshman football, go ahead and put PE football so we know to place you in that class, which will come at the end of the day, and you can speak with Coach Kramer. Okay, but we do need to have one of those two selected tonight before you turn in this form. World languages. Okay, world languages. We know we might have some folks here from immersion programs. We can handle those situations, are unique, and we'll talk about those separately, and perhaps we can have a conversation on those in terms of the immersion students. However, for most of you, please understand Spanish, French, or Latin. Many of you may want to get going on that to round out your schedule. If you are our world language program here is for non-native speakers. Okay? If you're a native Spanish speaker, for instance, but you're still interested, I want my son to have the skill set to be able to write, do the grammar, and so on and so forth. He speaks well, but we have a track for that, and that would be to take French or Latin for 2 years, and then transition junior and senior year to the AP series, AP Spanish Literature. Okay? So that's how our students move through here, because the curriculum in the Spanish is really for, until we get to that level, is for non-native speakers. Okay? So Spanish, French, or Latin, based on that. If you've already had Spanish or French and you're thinking about being placed into a higher level, that's okay. If you've taken Spanish 1 at your school now in 8th grade, you can select Spanish 2, but be aware we will do an assessment based on the first 4 weeks of school in that Spanish 2 or French 2, whatever the case might be. Dare I say someone take Latin 2, but I haven't had that yet in my tenure. So maybe one of these days someone will say, hey, it's me. Okay, world language. And then usually to round out the other class, there's a choice then between social studies or VAPA. Some of you, if you achieved the science element, some of you who have achieved 95% on the local percentile on the HSPT or higher would have had biology written on your form. Okay, in which case, if you're in that situation, you would then select from a world language or social studies to get going. Social studies, the world history, is also offered, as Mr. O'Byrne will talk about, in the summer. So you can utilize that option as well. That's a summer option, the world history as well, or put that into your freshman schedule. The VAPA is a graduation requirement. Visual and Performing Art is a graduation requirement, a University of California requirement, and a state requirement for graduation. So you can also build that in the VAPA section. As you look in your curriculum guide and put that down tonight, you should have a total of 6 classes, okay? You don't need to fill out every line on that form. I know it's a little confusing perhaps. The first 4 are pretty much done. You then have to choose between the ones we just talked about there, the world languages, the VAPA, and the social studies, 2 of those in combination, or biology and 1 other in combination as you look at that. Hopefully that makes sense. Great. As we move through the balance of this then here, just quickly, in your folder you should also have received a Follett. This is our bookstore, okay? This is our partner, and there'll be links on the website, and it's opened about mid-July. To my left, Mr. Linville over there, who you hear from in a moment, is the head of our bookstore, and he helps coordinate and facilitate all of that. But you'll deal directly with Follett through our link on our website, and we'll get more information once the schedule comes home to you. You'll turn these forms tonight. That'll generate a schedule over the next couple months. It'll be mailed to you, and then by mid-July, you'll be able to order your books, okay? There'll be summer reading assignments and things like that you'll hear about. There'll be subsequent mailings, so be attentive to those types of things as you transition here to Saints. Very important, as we close out here tonight, I just kind of want to let you know that we're here for you, that this is your campus, this is your home. You heard President Hearn kind of allude to that. But we want you to take an advocacy role, young men, for your education. We want you to be going to office hours. We want you to ask questions in class. We want you to go up and say, hi, my name is so-and-so. That's really important, right? And part of that formation. Because don't be surprised, because we're going to come up and go, hey, how's it going? You're going to, whoa, okay? That's how we operate. That's what's going to happen here for you, okay? We want you to be successful. We can't wait until you wear the purple robe and cross the stage, okay? And parents, let me assure you it's going to be okay. How do I know? because, as Mr. Hearn said, we spend a lot of time studying boys, how they learn. It's okay to tap. It's okay to lean back in your chair. We have the bouncy balls in some of the classes. You're going to fidget. You're going to eat a ton. You're going to hopefully sleep a ton. That's called being 14. It's okay. It's all right. Parents, here's what's going to happen. Gentlemen, this is how your day goes. Tell me if I'm wrong. The day ends. Freshman year. Here comes the car. Door opens. First thing you're going to notice is your son is going to be disheveled. The hair will be a mess, probably from playing intramurals. There'll be random stains on his shirt. You won't know. He won't know where they came from. You're going to be bummed because it's a brand new shirt that you spent $40 on. He's going to go, I have no idea, and the stains won't come out. The shoelaces perhaps will be undone. Maybe one just set will be undone. He might smell a little bit. Okay, we're not sure if that's from the lunch he didn't eat that spilled over his backpack, or if it's stuff that spilled on him, or if it's just being 14. Get in the back of the car. You will then ask the obligatory question, which is, how was your day? He will do one of three things. He will either grunt at you, as he stares at his phone. He will say, fine. You will then ask, did you learn anything? No. Everything will be stupid. Well, that was just stupid. I mean, I don't know. He said to do something, and then I got in trouble, and he said it was stupid. And I'm like... He will then retreat to his phone again while the drive home. Okay, thank you. You will then get home. Gentlemen, this is what you will do. You will make your way in the door. The backpack or clothing or jacket or items that were on the outside of you will be shed like a snake shedding his skin. They will fall in the foyer as you walk in the house, and there they will stay. You won't pick them up. You will then make a beeline for the bathroom. You will then go to the bathroom. Hopefully you will hit the target. Hopefully you will wash your hands. You will then make a beeline for the kitchen. You will then open the refrigerator or the cupboard or the pantry. You will then exclaim out loud so the entire street can hear you that you have nothing to eat in this house. You will then grab the nearest cheap carbohydrate. You will tuck it under your arm and you will retreat to wherever, and maybe there's a sock on, maybe there's a sock off. I don't know. Okay, your hair still disheveled. Now your shirts are fully untucked, and you find your couch, your bedroom, and you make your beeline to the nearest computer, tablet, phone, television, and you will sit there and look at it while you eat the entire bag of whatever it is you have. Crumbs will go everywhere. And then, only then, and after all that's complete, and by the way, gentlemen, if you could pixelate yourself and be in the camera, the phone, you would. I know that. And occasionally you'll look around and go, oh, did anybody see that? I saw that on my phone. Oh my gosh, okay, let's quickly go. See it all the time. Then and only then you'll be able to have that conversation about how the day went. How do I know? Because I've been married for 30 years and it's still the same. Nothing changes, guys, right? The guys have to be nicer about it, but we all know, okay? But it's gonna be okay. We love you. Know that you are loved here. Know that you are cared for here. Know that your teachers care for you here. Know that all of that is part of growing up and maturing. We're here to help. If you have any other questions, please take advantage of the department chairs that are here. Mr. Bronson, myself, the other administrators, any questions about your class. And again, welcome, celebrate. It's exciting. Congratulations. And before you leave tonight, make sure you do turn in those course request forms just outside, and we can generate those. You'll keep the yellow part. And thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Welcome, guys. Welcome. My pleasure now to introduce Mr. Kevin DeRue, Director of Facilities and Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Hecht. You guys have been presented with a lot of important information tonight. A lot of things to take in, a lot of things to work on. I can assure you that as long as you listen to the first and the last thing I say tonight, you can sleep through the middle of my presentation, but it's going to be a short nap. By tonight, you should have gone through or should go through and complete the tuition contract. You can find the link on our website. Click on our website. It's going to pop right up. Follow the instructions. Now you guys can go to sleep. Just kidding. Some of the questions that you're going to be asked is how you want to pay. School offers 3 different payment programs. First is an annual pay, which is due in July. Quarterly payments, which are due in July, October, and March, or you can select the monthly payments, which are paid over 10 months, equal payments, July through April. The other question that you're going to be asked to answer is whether you want the payments to come out on the 1st or the 15th. We ask that once you make that selection, you stick with it. It's a little bit more difficult to have that changed in the system afterwards. However, we can change payment plans. You're also going to be asked how you want to be billed. So within the Smart Tuition system, which is an independent tuition collection agency, they will ask you if you want to have an email or if you want to have a mailed statement with your bill for each month or however you choose to pay. And then they're going to ask you how you want to pay. They offer several different options. One of them is to set up an automatic withdrawal. You can pay by phone, you can mail in a check, or you can pay by credit card. Because this is an independent organization that collects tuition on behalf of the school, they do have fees associated with credit card processing. They also have fees associated with late payments and failed ACHs if that happens. Please understand that it's not the school charging you those fees. It's the fee for the service using Smart Tuition. The last thing that you're going to be responsible for is registration and deposit of $460. That will be due at the end of the tuition contract to complete that process. If you have any questions about the process, you're free to contact Smart Tuition. All over the web page, when you get into the Smart Tuition, is their 724-hour hotline where you can contact them and help you through that process. So one of the questions I always get asked is if you're receiving tuition aid, when you go through the contract, you do not see the tuition aid in the contract. That's for two reasons. One of those is first because we don't have you in the system yet and we can't automatically populate your tuition aid. The second reason is we don't necessarily have all the tuition aid decisions taken care of at that time and we load them through Smart Tuition. I can assure you they'll be loaded by June before your first statement comes out, and whatever tuition aid award that you receive, it'll be spread across your payment plan. First payment will be due in July, as earlier stated. With that first payment, you're going to be asked to pay a general fee of $315. That general fee is to help cover costs associated with freshman vests, yearbooks, all of the different activities, retreats, and ASB fees. If you have any questions about the tuition aid contract, I know most of you, or a good number of you, have already taken care of that, but if you have any questions, I'm going to be up here in the terrace. There's Mariah waving up there. She's up there waiting to help you out, and so is Ricky Franco. So if you head out, go through the elevator, hit T, walk straight out the door. You're going to walk right into us. And if you have any questions related to tuition aid, if you have not received an award letter or a determination letter and you applied, it generally means there's something holding up the process. You should come see me, and I will also be up there. And we can work through whatever the issue is and get your tuition aid request through and a determination letter out to you as soon as we possibly can. Thank you very much for your time. Next, I'm going to turn you over to John O'Byrne, the Assistant Principal for Student Services. Thank you again.
Thanks, Kevin. Let's start out with come on out, guys. We're going to have a fashion show. We'll start off real easy. First three guys, this is what we're going to wear on Mass Day. The vest, you should have a piece of paper that has the vest sign up, possibly in your packet. You're going to get one of these vests with your name on it. That way when one or two boys loses it, we'll be able to return it. If you have a Letterman's jacket, you can wear that on Wednesdays as well for Mass. Next guys are just wearing something that's regular attire, collared shirt, pants. And the last two guys, spirit wear, that's on Fridays. You can wear a t-shirt and jeans if you'd like. That's it, guys, you're good? Well, yeah, you aren't very good looking. All of you better go. I was gonna keep one of the good looking guys, but now go ahead. Spirit wear dress on Friday, and you can just wear a t-shirt, and trust me, by the second day here, you'll have 4 or 5 shirts. So that's what the dress code is. We don't anticipate any real changes for next year. The vest order, if you have it done tonight, you can just drop it off and we'll take care of it. If you don't, June 1st is our closing day, so just make sure it's into the student services by June 1st. Summer program that Mr. Heck was talking about, there's a couple new things. First of all, we have world history. If you want to take world history, it's from 7:45 till 12:30. Starts on June 13th, goes to July 23rd. There's going to be a number of different math classes that you may or may not be eligible for. There's basic math and basic mathematics that you might be taking as well. One of the new programs that we're putting together this year, and it's because we just kind of saw, like Mr. Heck was talking about, a little gap, and that was in mathematics. We just saw people that they weren't doing as well, and that students just need that little boost to be successful in Algebra 1 next year. So what we have is a 2-hour program each day. It's just going through mathematical functions just to kind of bridge the gap that students might have missed learning online this year. So we'll have that program from 8 to 10 and another one from 10:30 to 12:30 if it's that popular. If you're interested in taking SSS, you can take an SSS program right in the morning or in the afternoon or right afterwards. And the SSS program is our strength conditioning classes that we have, and it's popular. So a lot of people want to take it. We made it so that you can drop your kid off at 7:30, pick him up at 12:30. He has a class and he has SSS taken care of. Or you can drop at 7:30. He takes a full class of summer school, goes till 12:30 and takes SSS, and you can pick him up at 3 o'clock, just like a normal school day, which is great for everybody. Tonight, you have heard a lot about students and their opportunities and what they can do here at Saints, but how do they get there? How does it work? Well, let me tell you, this is how it works because I've seen it over and over and over again. A young man takes a test in January, comes to an evening just like this. He's sitting there and he's going to play football, soccer, and track his freshman year. He leaves here tonight knowing exactly when SSS is going to start, when football practice is going to start. He has no idea what classes he's going to take, and he has no idea what day school starts. But he knows those other two things really well. He comes in, makes some new friends playing SSS and doing football. September comes around, he takes a retreat the third weekend. Every student is there from his freshman class. He learns about some of his friends. Some of them live in another country. Some of them have 6 brothers and sisters at home. Some of them are only child. He learns all those things. Thanksgiving comes around. Football's over. He got a little bit of playing time. He made the freshman soccer team. He plays soccer, gets a little playing time there. Springtime comes around, sitting at the dinner table with mom and dad, and he says, you know, I'm not going to run track. I'm struggling in my classes, and I want to work on those. Dad drops his fork because he's never heard such a thing from his son. Mom kind of spits out a little water because she's starting to choke, and she goes, oh my gosh, he's actually getting it. So he works on his studies. He takes a summer school class, does well in the summer school class, goes in to talk to his mom and dad during summer and says, you know, football's not my gig. And dad says, you are not sitting around doing video games. You're going to find something else to do. So he says, I know, I already talked to the campus ministry and I talked to Loyal Sons, and I'm going to join those 2 groups. So he joins them, enjoys them, gets new friends, goes through his sophomore year, does quite well, plays soccer again. Springtime comes around and goes, Dad, I'd like to play lacrosse. Dad goes, okay, hey, something new, go ahead and try it. So he tries lacrosse, he loves it. Because he took a summer school class, he's now taking a class in VAPA, so he learns to play the guitar, and he enjoys that too. So now he has some new interests. Junior year comes around, he's in lacrosse, working with campus ministry, working with the Loyal Sons, working on his grades, thinking about college. And he goes, I'm going to take another summer school class in between his junior and senior year, takes a college class here at Saints for a week and writes his application out for college, writes some essays, has all those things to write about. And then all of a sudden he comes in his senior year, sits down at the table at springtime. He's a little disappointed. Folks say, well, what happened? He goes, well, I didn't get into the college that I really wanted to. Dad says, oh, well, there's some other colleges, we'll see what happens. Following week, he comes in, he sits down, a big smile on his face. I'm going to college, Mom and Dad. Mom, this time, instead of water out of her mouth, it's coming out of her eyeballs. She goes, my son's going to college. Dad, Water's coming out of his eyes because he's thinking, I got 4 more years of tuition. Not the best thought, but it's what happens. Those are the things that happen here at Saints, almost naturally, just by what happens. But they're opportunities, and they go looking. The student goes looking for those opportunities. You go out and you talk to people and you say, these are the things I want to do. And the opportunity doesn't start next August. It starts tonight. Your mom and dad are not going to be playing baseball next year. You're going to be playing baseball. You're going to go up to that baseball coach tonight and say, hi, my name is. I need to know what you do during the summer, and I need to know what I need to do to prepare for baseball. He's going to tell you what needs to be happening. You're going to be upstairs and you're going to say, oh, I wonder what that guy's talking about. He's talking about some Latin? What is that? And then all of a sudden he's going to go, okay, Latin. It's a dead language that nobody talks in the world. Why would I take Latin? Because it's going to help you in English. It's going to help you in the rest of your studies. Oh, okay. That's where the opportunity is, and that's when it's knocking. Parents, for you tonight, it starts. On the way home, hey, what'd you think of that presentation? Yeah, it was okay. Did you learn anything? Well, I learned when baseball was. I learned about SSS. I learned about, did you learn when school start? No, I didn't get as far as when school was going to start, but I'll get there. And then he's going to say, but I talked to this other guy about Latin. You're going to go, Latin? What did he say about Latin? It's a dead language. Nobody talks about it in the world. And he says that if I take Latin, I'm going to speak gooder English because I'm going to know all the basic roots. And you're going to say, I sure hope so. But all of a sudden, you're going to be having that conversation with your son about Latin. It's not going to be about some video game. And then that's what's going to continue on. And that's what we want. So when those opportunities are knocking, encourage them. There's going to be failures along the way, but encourage them to go out and see what else we have here. I'd like to thank you for coming. If you have any questions at all, we'll be around. Summer school, anything that you needed for the vest, or if you want to turn that in, there's a table up top that I'll be at. And thank you for coming. I know that it's tough to get here on weeknights. Right now, I'd like to introduce our athletic director, Matt Linville.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome. Congratulations. And it's the beginning of a long but fun journey for you. I am the athletic director here at Saints, and so I'm going to give you a couple quick minutes about our athletic program. We have 15 sports that we offer here at Saints, 12 at the CIF level and 3 at the club level. These 15 sports are divided up into 3 seasons. We have a fall season, which is basically August till about middle of November. And we have a winter season from middle of November till about the middle of February. And then we have a spring season that will run from about the middle of February till the end of the school year. Of our 15 sports in total, 4 of them have freshman-only levels. So all our sports have a varsity and a JV. 4 of them then also have a freshman-only level, and that's freshman football, freshman basketball, freshman soccer, and freshman baseball. There are plenty of opportunities for your sons to get involved in sports. And one of the great things about our athletic program here at Saints is only about half our sports are in a position where they have to do cuts. There are 7, 8, 9 sports where anybody and everybody, come one, come all, the coaches will take you as long as you're committed to showing up on a daily basis. So there are plenty of opportunities, and that's one of the themes that you've heard here tonight is to get involved. So there are a lot of athletic opportunities for us. We believe in playing our freshmen at whatever level they're going to contribute at. So some freshmen are good enough to play at the varsity level, some play at the JV level, some will play at the freshman level. We want your sons to contribute and be a part of whatever level they can contribute at. There will be a lot more information coming to you later as this process continues on, especially for the fall sports, because they will start up at the end of July and beginning of August. So before we are even back into school, some of these sports will begin. There will be more information coming to you on that. Here tonight, because of all the COVID craziness and the fact that we are doing 13 sports all at once right now, things are a little bit busy, but we only have about half our faculty here tonight, and of the half that is here, a good number of them are coaches. So please feel free to ask them questions as you're going around tonight to some of your different stations, getting your math question answered, and oh, by the way, can somebody answer a question for me about baseball? And the people here tonight will be able to, if they can't answer, they'll get you pointed in the right direction. I will be here in the gym afterwards for a little while, and if I can help you with something, please feel free to come up and ask me. The other couple things that I'm going to quickly mention, I encourage you to explore our school website. When you load up our homepage, there is an athletics tab. If you click the athletics tab, it'll take you to a little welcome intro from me. But down the left-hand side are all of our sports. So if you are unable to connect with that baseball coach or that swimming coach or something like that, explore our website and click on those sports. And under each of those will be a little intro to the sport, but also the coach's contact information. So you or your sons can reach out to those coaches and get a little bit more information if you are unable to tonight. So please explore the athletics page of our website. And speaking of our website, when you do log on to there will be a summer school banner. Within the summer school page will be the signups for the SSS that Mr. O'Byrne mentioned, that is the speed and strength program over the summer, as well as information on 4 athletic camps that we will be offering. We have a basketball camp at the end of June. We have baseball and football camps going the same week in the middle of July, but baseball's in the morning, football's in the afternoon, and we have a soccer camp during the last week of July. So if your sons are interested in signing up for those, once again, we can answer some of those questions tonight, but the actual sign up and registration, if you go to our webpage, click the summer school, and the camps and the SSS will be part of the summer school page. Okay. With that, I want to get everybody moving on and let you get to the next stage of your evening. So thank you and congratulations. And to close us out tonight is we'll bring back up our principal, Mr. Jim Horn.
Thank God I'm the closer. That's enough info, right? Everybody got enough? If you're like me, you probably missed half of that, and that's okay, because we're here to answer the questions for all of you. But before we dismiss to that, I want to take a moment to recognize a man who's had a whole bunch of hard work thrown his way. Last year, our admissions director was new, Mr. Paul Sipper. He had 1 year of regular admissions to kind of work through things, and then COVID hits, and he had to figure out how to administer an admissions program where you never meet with anybody, until, of course, tonight. But I want to recognize Mr. Sipper. Thanks for all your work, Paul. Before I cut to questions and the last tasks for each of us tonight, I want to share with you that the people you're seated next to are likely to become very important in your life. We use the word brotherhood around here. We use it with great intention, because we build such a familial kind of relationship among the boys. And it's not unlikely that seated in this room are the best man at your son's wedding, the godfather to his children, because that's what we see happening years after boys graduate. So it's a really wonderful community that you're jumping into. And it's not just about high school, and it's also not just about the students. Parents, you're gonna find that there's some of your best friends waiting to be met over the next couple of years, and they'll travel with you in this journey. Couple of tasks for all of us. You all have the course selection sheet. We have up on the roof of this gymnasium, if you exit and go up 2 flights of stairs, on the gym roof, we have department chairs and teachers who can answer questions about course of study. Am I ready for Algebra 1 or geometry? What's better for my son, Spanish or French? All those sorts of academic questions on the roof. And then before you leave, we'd love you to turn in your course selection sheet, and that'll happen down here on the main patio, right in front of the Student Services office. If you're a family that has not filled out the tuition contract, or you have an issue to discuss regarding financial aid, those conversations are happening up in room 435. We have teachers and students here to help direct you, but that is up the flight of stairs like you're headed to the roof, but cut it short one flight. It's just these rooms here, not all the way to the roof. And then lastly, all the administrators that spoke tonight, we're here to meet you. We're here to answer your questions. So if you stumble into a line that's 10 long and you'd like to just get a quick answer, ask any of us. Most of us know what's going on. And more than anything, we want to communicate to you that we're here to journey with you and your son. And that journey begins tonight. We're not waiting until August. So we welcome you. We're happy you're here. And we want to help you if you have any questions. So welcome to St. Augustine High School and have a tremendous evening. Thank you for coming.